Hey guys, it's Darren, the home from MobileReviewsEh, and today I'm going to do a review of the Thule Atmos X3 as well as X4. This case currently sits at number 8 on my top 10 list, and I'm a big fan of these Thule cases. I loved it for the iPhone 6s, and I'm loving it for the iPhone 7s, but they're a little different. I just love how solid my iPhone feels in these Thule cases. The buttons on these cases are probably the best that I have ever used. Now, the biggest downside of the Thule Atmoses is the extra width that it adds to your device. Now, for the Thule Atmos X4, I've given this case a score of 4.2 A's out of 5. For the X3, it's 3.8 A's out of 5. The biggest difference between these two cases is the screen protector, as well as the table slippage. If you're looking to see what else I've rated better than the Thule X4, check out my website. Links are in the I or the description section below.
Real usage, real reviews. MobileReviewsEh.ca.
At MobileReviewsEh.ca, we base everything we do on actual usage. So with cases that we've already used before for the iPhone 6, there's very little to do with them since, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 7 are almost identical in size. Which kind of means that Monty gets very bored when we're reviewing cases, so he just goes and plays by himself while I work. For design, there are slight differences between the iPhone 6 version and the newer iPhone 7 version. The biggest difference that I've noticed is the added thickness. The entire case is a bit thicker, and this is a good thing because the screen protector on the iPhone 6 version would extend past the edge of the case. It sits pretty flush on the iPhone 7 version. When it comes to size, the Thule Atmos X, I'll call it the X34, is quite thin, adding about 28% extra to your iPhone. When it comes to width, though, this is one of the widest cases that I've come across, as the entire width is increased by about 1 centimeter. I will add that the extra width isn't terribly noticeable, as the edges are tapered in, so it fits really well in your hand, but it is wide, especially when compared to other cases in its class like the Playproof as well as the Spec Presidio grip. The Thule X3 and the X4 fits the iPhone incredibly well and will not slip around when placed flat on its back. The X3 is fine with the front slippage, but the X4 with the improved edges will slide around a bit still. The case won't show excessive usage, but the hard polycarbonate corners will show drops quicker than other cases. The texture on the case is so great, and there's enough rubber on the case to keep your fingers happy, but not so much that your pant pockets are going to suffer. When it comes to protection, the Thule Atmos is one of the very few cases that I would be comfortable dropping constantly from 6 feet. If you're looking for a tough case, the X4 should be on your short list. As an example of just how tough these cases are, this iPhone, this is an iPhone 6 Plus. It's a pretty old iPhone, and it's the same one that I used in the drop test videos, and it still has that little dent on the back of the case when when I tried to do the screen protector test. So it went through that entire ordeal, and it's an iPhone that I'm still using. So I'm pretty impressed with that sort of protection, we'll say, from these Thule Atmoses. The screen protector, or the Strato Shield, covers the entire face of the iPhone. So even in a face-first drop on the white part, the case should protect the iPhone screen. The screen protector is quite nice, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. So if you're looking for a tough case to protect your iPhone, and you know somebody who is, the Thule X3 or the X4 are going to be decent cases, especially with the screen protector. Like, how painful does this sound? The iPhone is easily accessible through the Thule X3 and X4. As I said earlier, I love the buttons on this case. Why? Because they actually feel like a naked iPhone's buttons. The average case will usually change how the buttons feel, but the Atmos is one of the very few cases that doesn't. And this is surprising to me because of the extra width of the case. There are no issues with the camera in the flash area, and the bottom has cutouts large enough to use whatever gargantuan lightning cable that you have. One-handed usage on the X3 and X4 is manageable, despite being wider. Now onto the Strato Shield screen protector. It doesn't get in the way of accessing your iPhone, unlike other plastic screen protectors won't diffuse the iPhone's Retina HD screen. However, fingerprinting might be an issue, which is something common across all plastic screen protectors. Now, the screen protector does adhere to the iPhone's touchscreen, so there isn't any gaps to deal with like you would find on something like the OtterBox Defender. Now, again, the biggest difference between the X3 and the X4 is the screen protector. So basically, this is the X3, and then the screen protector, that makes it the X4. The entire case is very usable as the X3. It just doesn't come with that really awesome, tough screen protector. Thule is pretty smart in how they design the edges of the case, as the Strato Shield is actually bigger than the iPhone, and it's on an edge, and so it fits the edge of the Thule X3 very, very well. So if I wasn't reviewing cases, which one of these would I get, the X3 or would I get the X4? I personally am a glass guy, so I like glass screen protectors, and I'm usually pretty good with them unless I'm trying to break them. The Strato Shield is incredibly tough. My brother-in-law loves his Thule X4s. And so if you're looking for something that can take a hit from something in your pockets, definitely go with the X4. But if you're careful with your device like I am, I would probably stick with the X3 and get a different screen protector. The price difference is about 20 bucks. So, you know, they're not asking a terrible amount for this really tough screen protector. If you're wondering what I'm going to be reviewing next, I've got the Apple Smart battery case on the chopping board. So do stay tuned for that. If you're wondering what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, you can find me on Google+, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I've been trying to be a little more active on those platforms by, you know, replying to questions and stuff. I'm Aaron the Ho. This is Monty the Ho. This is a giant carrot. I was at the Chinese market and I saw this carrot and I had to go buy it. I don't think it will taste very good, and I hope it's a carrot. It looks like a carrot. This is a little carrot that Monty's going to eat. Okay, Monty's not going to eat it.